A quick note from the reader. The purpose of this is for people who are visually impaired, who want to read Varg's book. This is in no way, shape, or form a copyright infringement attempt, an attempt to make money, an attempt to take money from Varg. I fully support Varg in every way, as should you. Otherwise, why the fuck are you here? This book, I should add, is kind of challenging to read, as there are a lot of typos in it, and at times there is broken English, but I will do my best. If you don't like the recording quality, or if you don't like my voice, especially when I say S's, then, you can fuck off. It's pretty much word for word. There are parts where he talks about a guitar pick, but he uses a different word for pick. I just use pick. It just makes more sense to English listeners. A lot of times he uses the in example. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to read as if it's, ignoring that part. Other than that, though, I will do my best to keep it word for word the way the book is. With that being said, here is To Hell and Back Again, Part 1, My Black Metal Story by Varg Vikernes, 2024. This book is written solely by me based on what I remember about the Norwegian black metal scene from 1991 to 1993. Sometimes I also fall a bit outside this scope, but by and large, this is what the book is about. I first wrote all I could think about this, and then read through it all to see what was missing. The things missing were added in where it made sense, so I jump a bit back and forth in topic. The book is not written chronologically, and I also ask people on X, my account at BORNLIK23266, to tell me what they wanted me to explain or elaborate on. So in some chapters, I will repeat parts of what I've said earlier, because I talk about the same, but from a different perspective and in a different context, and to shed light on something else related to the same. Sometimes I explain my own views about something, but other times I explain how I saw it back then. This is often hard to differentiate between. There were until now no book dealing with this topic in a fair manner. They are all written by people with an agenda, often a sinister motive even, and by people who simply put had no reason to believe that they knew enough about this to write anything at all to begin with. When I write this book, I will not try to sugarcoat anything or try to present myself or my role in the black metal scene in a particularly good light. I don't care what people think of me, as long as they have the opportunity to make up their opinion based on the facts, rather than lies, slander, myths, and exaggerated nonsense. I'm perfectly okay with not always having been what I would have wanted me to be. Making mistakes is a part of the learning process in life, a part of growing up, a part of your education. So this might sound a bit strange, but I would like many people who currently like Varg Vikernes to stop liking me, because often they like the lie and not the real me. I am to be appreciated. I would like that the real me is appreciated. If not, if they do not appreciate me for what I really am, then I would prefer them to not appreciate me at all. As you can tell already, this will be a personal book. Not only was I part of this scene, even an instrumental part for better or worse, but my own public personality is very much interconnected with this whole topic. Not only do I know the facts about this, but I have the distance and disdain for the whole subject to write truthfully and accurately about it. To destroy the lies, myths, slander, nonsense, and twisting of facts. Indeed, you are reading My Spell of Destruction. This is the true story about the black metal scene in Norway and also my story. Varg Vikernes, January 2024. Chapter 1. How did I become involved with the death metal scene? So you already wonder why I did not write, how did I become involved with the black metal scene? Yes, it's because there was no black metal scene when I became involved with the death metal scene in Norway in 1989. When I was 14 years old, my older brother purchased an electric guitar, and for some reason I too purchased a guitar from the same seller. I do not know why for sure I did that. I certainly had no ambitions to become a musician, but in any case, I did. The reason why is lost even to me. I guess the only reason I can give would be that the seller had a second guitar that he wanted to sell as well. And it was not too expensive, so... At the time, I went to karate training a few times every week. I went to the shooting range every week, and I had friends that I played role-playing games with. And we kept doing that until I was around 17, and they decided to give priority to their formal education instead. Stupid bastards. Other than that, though, I most of the time played the guitars in my room. When the others stopped playing role-playing games, I played the guitars a lot more. I had nothing better to do. The following might sound odd and certainly would have not worked in a film, because it is just something that does not happen in real life. It would sound too unlikely, but you see, one of the girls I went to elementary school with had a big brother who played in a metal band. One day I lost one of my picks, and I really wanted to play the guitars. And I came to think about that guy in a band who lived a few stone throws away from where I lived. So I simply did the most autistic thing, and walked over to his place and called the doorbell and asked him, Harold, if I could borrow one of his picks. I was 17 at the time. I think he was 21. He was in a band, Amputation, with Jorn Ing. By chance, his girlfriend was there, as well as two guys from Old Funeral. And instead of lending me a pick, they invited me in. And I'm pretty sure, as far as I can remember, that I learned for the first time in my life about what death metal was. I had only ever heard a single song by Death on a radio show when in a friend's car, but I did not know it was death metal. Other than that, I had only heard of thrash metal bands and listened to Bathory, Creator, and Slayer. I was really impressed with the Old Funeral demo tape, as well as the Amputation demo tape. By chance, they needed a second guitar player for Old Funeral and invited me to come visit them in their rehearsal place the day after and see if I could start playing with them. And I did. I can add that they had the odd name Old Funeral because there was another band in Bergen called Funeral, and to stress that they were the first funeral band, older than the other funeral band, they were the Old Funeral. Yeah, their original name was Funeral. With time, it became simply Old Funeral.